Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mr. ESPN. This is the Closer Podcast. I have special guests with me. Head basketball coach of the Steel High Steamrollers,
Blue and gray
Jeremy
all day.
Buzz Kable. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Yes, sir, fam. I'm always here.
Now, for those that don't know, me and this gentleman go back and forth about the Rams and the Eagles.
Nonstop. From week one
Nonstop.
on. Actually, all off season, week one, like the whole 9 yards. It just picks up come football
And
season.
it gets to the point where at times he'll text me or hit me, and I go straight into it. Like, man, this ain't about that. This ain't about that right now.
Nah, you're right.
So it's consistent. Let me
It
ask
is,
you a
man.
question.
Go ahead.
Do you think Jalen Hurts helps or hurts your team?
I mean, this year, I think he proved exactly what he needed to prove. Last year, everybody stated, this offense ran on Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, my man, he had a chance. He actually would have broke the record if he would have played that last game if he wanted to. But
They pulled him out, right? Well, they
he
gave him the
chose not to
opportunity,
play.
but he said, "Nah, let
Yeah,
the young bulls eat."
yep. Let the young bulls eat. I'm cool.
Yeah.
He wasn't worried about it. But as far as Hurts goes, it's like this year you didn't have that 2,000 plus yard rusher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Saquon ended with half of what he had last year and only 7 TDs.
Yeah.
So you have Hurts who finishes the season with 3,200 passing yards, which is 16. He had 25 touchdowns, which is top 10 in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And he also had 8 rushing TDs. Now, all you hear from him is he's a running back playing quarterback. But he had 2,000-yard receivers.
Mm-hmm.
One had 7 touchdowns. I think the other had 5 or 6. Dallas Goedert, who was second in the league in touchdown scored this year, behind, take a
Who was
guess.
first?
Yeah, you already know.
Devontae Adams. But
Yes, sir. I think Devontae had 14.
14.
It's either 14 or 17. One of those.
It's 14. It's 14.
But I can't say hurts the Eagles. I mean, he literally, if you saw, he carried us this year.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon didn't get going until I think the last 4 games of the season. He ran for over 100 yards in those 4 games. But leading up to that, it was like 40 yards, 50 yards, 30 yards, 60 yards. Like he wasn't that consistent 100-yard scorer 100-yard rusher where I think he had 13 or 14 games over 100 yards last year. So like he literally did half of what he did last year, and literally Hurts put him on his shoulder. Everybody's, like I said, Hurts is a running quarterback, but I thought he had more rushing yards than this. But he only had 421 rushing yards. Josh
I would
Allen,
have thought he had more than that as well.
yeah, I would have thought so too. Now Josh Allen has I think 13 rushing touchdowns and close to 700 rushing yards.
Josh Allen is an unstoppable force.
He is 100%. But my thing is, just because Hurts doesn't throw for 4,500 yards and 30 plus touchdowns a year, to say that he's not a quarterback, it just blows my mind. Like 3,200 yards, 25 touchdowns, only 6 INTs. I mean, that's the 3-to-1 touchdown ratio right there. That just passing. Total touchdowns, he has 33. So, I mean, really offensively, the Eagles relied heavily on Hurts to go where we needed to go. I mean, just look at that last 2 possessions. AJ should have caught that one.
That throw on 4th and 5. That was what you would label as a clutch throw.
Yeah.
Right?
He hit
Um,
Goddard on another, he hit Goddard on that deep one on fourth down. He hit uh I think it was third down right there where he just hit Devontae and Devontae just dropped it. I mean, those you can't put on him. He's like you said, he's making the clutch throws. Um, he had two
I said
deep
he
ball.
made that clutch throw. I do
He made
believe.
a bunch of clutch throws though. Like the two that he threw to AJ that AJ dropped, they
Yeah,
were both clutch throws. That one was literally he laid in the breadbasket. He had a defender behind him and a defender to the left of him. That was a hell of a throw that AJ literally just went straight through his hands.
yeah.
Um, that was a great throw too. But ultimately, you can't stay consistent where you score points in the first half and you go out in the second half. You can't put touchdowns on the board. When you hit the playoffs, that's not going to get it done.
See, but here's the thing, because I always tell Eagle fans, and I don't want to just say it, but it somehow is Eagle fans, because a lot of casual people who kind of tune into the Eagles and they're kind of watching from afar, I understand that if you won the game, you won the game,
Yeah.
but you have to look at more advanced stats and metrics than just wins and losses. If that was the case, there would be no analysts. People wouldn't get paid six figures to analyze the game. It'd be, did you
And
win or
do
did
what
you
they
lose?
do. Yeah,
So
no doubt.
so when people who think a little deeper than just did they win or did they lose, and they get in a game like this, they know what to expect. This would have been expected, like you said, if you paid attention more than just wins and losses. Because if you
That's
get put
why,
in a
listen,
position where we're putting the offense, putting it on the offense to win the game. You score
yep.
22 points, you average 22 points per game.
That's
That's
exactly
going to
what
be
we averaged. I
difficult,
was going to shout that out.
but that's going to be difficult to overcome in a playoff situation. It is. So I can't
No
just say,
doubt.
well, they won. No, no, no. We gotta look deeper than that. So that, I guess, as far as the Eagle fan base, that's kind of what bothers me. But I do want to get to this comment. Charlie said it's simple. The offense is Sirianni's, and KP can't take chicken shit and make chicken salad. Kellen made the offense viable despite Sirianni.
Look, if you look back the 2 years that the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 17 and last year, they won the Super Bowl by bringing in an outside person to run the offense. They
Yeah.
didn't promote within. Every other year, we promoted within. And it's like, okay, you go out there in the first half, you do well. A great defensive coordinator. Salah was a terrible head coach with the Jets, but defensive coordinator wise, one of the best in the league.
I agree, and
He's
I think
going to make it happen.
he's actually taking chicken shit and making chicken salad, because they
100%.
lost key pieces for the entire season,
Yep.
especially Fred Warner. That game looks different if Fred Warner's playing.
Same
It
with
does.
Bosa. They're if you put Bosa on that line,
Right.
they're not going to have the worst pressure rating in the NFL.
Right.
It's not going to happen with Bosa on that line. No
So I
way.
guess that does play into kind of what y'all were saying, is it's coaching.
It,
It's coaching
look, man.
because they're doing more with less. Y'all have the names. You have two
Oh, no
all-pro
doubt.
cornerbacks. You have a running back that had 2,000 yards last year and 1,000 yards this year. You just gave me Jalen Hurts stats. Where is the disconnect to the point where you're now losing in the first round to a team who just lost George Kittle in the beginning
In
of
the
the
middle of the
game
game,
and had no
I
option?
think it was the first quarter.
The first
I
quarter,
think
bro.
Kittle went
They
out
were
in the
literally
first
going to
quarter.
Demarcus Robinson.
Bro, I didn't even. I'm sitting here saying, who is
I'm like,
Who is this dude?
no, Demarcus
Was
Robinson
it
played for the
he
Rams
was
last
with y'all,
year.
right? He
Yes.
was your third
And
option. It was
he was the third option, but he made some clutch plays. So I knew he was clutch. Is he one of those players that you want to rely on, especially in a situation like that? No.
no,
So that's when I
no.
thought, okay, they are, listen, and there was always a knock on Brock Purdy. I want to give him his flowers. He was one of those players that they looked at and said, he can only be the Brock Purdy that's a Pro Bowl player if the pieces around him elevate him. He did not have nothing. But Christian McCaffrey. And the crazy part about Christian McCaffrey is he had receiving. He had top receiving yard numbers as a running back.
Let me give you. You literally came into the game knowing that you have two things to do. Your front four needs to get pressure on Brock Purdy because Purdy's numbers is he's 27th in passing with 2,100, almost 2,200 yards, 19th in touchdowns, and he has a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, 20 touchdowns to 10 interceptions on the season. You know, you have two jobs: get to Brock Purdy. And when you have Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, which Jordan Davis got injured, he ended up coming back. And you have to stop McCaffrey.
Right.
Like you said, McCaffrey, 1,200 rushing yards.
How many receiving?
924 receiving yards.
That is ridiculous.
17 total touchdowns.
That's ridiculous.
That's nuts. That's not, and honestly, like, here we go again. It comes down to coaching. First half, I'm not sure what the stats were. CMC really didn't do much in the first half. And you saw that because we were scoring the points.
Right.
You know? And second half, I think CMC had what, 2 touchdowns?
He had the receiving touchdown on that end around where the receiver threw it, and that second he had 2 receiving touchdowns.
He had 2 receiving touchdowns. So again, that comes down to the 2 things I said you got to do. Get pressure on the quarterback, and you have to stop CMC. And then the second half, we failed to do either. Purdy should have been sacked, I think, 3 times that we got hands on him in the backfield. He should have went down. Didn't go down. And, you know, it goes back to the same thing. When you play the same style of football and you don't make adjustments in the second half, that can get you through the season and win a weak NFC East division. But when you bring an outsider into Philly, if you don't have the coaching, you're not going to be able to win that second half. And, you know, we were outcoached tonight in the second half.
And I do kind of want to bring this up. The 49ers defensive front cannot generate any pressure.
No.
And they did not at all in that game.
They have the worst pressure rating in the entire NFL. The worst pressure rating.
If someone were to say, well, Jalen Hurts had the time.
Yeah, he did.
What did he do with it?
He did.
Because if you give, and you know, I can't compare everybody to Matthew Stafford. I can't do that. But
no, he's a one-of-a-kind quarterback.
Yeah, but it just so happened that that's my quarterback. So
yeah, he's a sure ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
Possibly first ballot.
Understand that, you know what I mean? But like I said, I just with that kind of you had the time. But AJ Brown did he left a lot of plays out there. Now I want to read some of the comments. I hate what AJ put y'all through. Talked all that trash just to disappear in a big moment. Do you feel like he disappeared?
I do. And I think that, you know, even the announcer saying, I don't remember, it might have been Brady that said AJ and Jalen, their timing and everything was off because AJ didn't get many touches today. At that point, AJ has 6 targets, 3 receptions.
That's ridiculous.
On 6 targets. So why are you trying to make it seem like AJ and Hurts was off? No. He caught 3, dropped the other 3, and I think he had 25 yards. 25 yards on 3 receptions. And, you know, on that last drive, this is what you see. And this is how you know, like, it's coaching. As a quarterback, you go through your first progression, your second, if you have a third wide receiver, third, and then you get to dump it out to the backfield. First 2 plays on that drive, what did we have to do? Hurts went through his progression. Nobody was open. We got to dump off to Saquon. First two plays. It's like, it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And, you know,
seems like it's so I want to ask this question. So it seems like the offense, like when I watch AJ Brown, it seems like he only runs a few routes. It's not like he has a lot of choice routes, option routes. So is that more of the offensive coordinator not having um a playbook that's uh with complex
Yeah,
plays, or is that they don't trust Jalen Hurts with the complex playbook? Either you don't have it or you don't trust him with it. I-
I don't
That's
think
why
it's
it
that.
looks like
I
that.
don't. I don't think. I honestly think it's more coaching, bringing in a playbook because Kellen Moore had one of the most complex playbooks there was,
So did he?
and
So did he dumb it down?
uh, you know,
That's what we.
me
That's
being
the
a fan
question.
watching, it seems like personally halfway through the season, Nick Sirianni should have taken over play calling. He should have seen that it's a steady pattern. Your quarterback gets it done in the first half, and your offense gets it done in the second half or in the first half, but in the second half, everything stalls out. It's like when you see that pattern, you as a head coach, you have to put that on your shoulders and say, all right, you could be the offensive coordinator, but you need to see how the play calling goes under me.
Yeah.
And then maybe next year we'll throw you back in the fire. But, I think Sirianni trusted Patula way too much. Um, and as far as the dummying down the playbook, if they did that, that was the dumbest thing to do because Hurt showed last year you can make it complex. He won a Super Bowl with a complex offense. He scored 105 points in 2 games between the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl. Like, you could say anything about having a complex playbook or dummying it down. If Patula dummied that down, this is on Sirianni. Sirianni should have known, look, I can trust Jalen Hurts. He got the job done. He's been my starter for 5 years. 2 out of the 5 years, he took us to the Super Bowl. The 1 year we lost, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes.
He did.
We lost on one play. It happened, but 105 points between the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl, bro, that's over 50 points a game. And I mean, Jalen Hurts had the MVP of the Super Bowl. He had, I think, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think he threw for 2 and ran for 2, or
So
threw
that,
for
I
three
guess
and
that's
ran
what.
for 1.
So that's what confuses me when you play against a team like the 49ers that can't generate
Yeah,
any pressure up front. So
bingo.
if Hurts can't understand the small details of an offense, that's because he's literally had a different offensive coordinator every year. When does he
Every
get an
year.
OC that's around for a while? So is that a part of the Eagles' culture at this point when you're going through a carousel of OCs? Why can't any stick? Now wait. So in LA, we do run through OCs a little bit more than the average team, but that's because McVay gets a lot of people hired. So is
He
that
does,
is
man.
that
He's
is it?
every
And
year he's
but at the same time, we have a guy that no matter what you throw at him, he's built for that kind of it does not phase him. Maybe Jalen
yeah.
Hurts needs consistency, right? So if that's
Well,
the case,
at this point, people, you may be right there. Stafford is on what year now?
17.
He's on 17. This was Hurts' 6th year, and he has had a new OC every single year.
Okay, they said they move on because they get head coach. They get head coaching positions. Your OCs.
Yes, Kellen Moore went to last year. Kellen Moore went to from the Super Bowl years. Kellen Moore went to New Orleans last year,
Mhm.
and I think we had Steichen, who from 2000 was it 2022 maybe when we were in the last Super Bowl, was it 22?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was 22 in last year. Steichen from 22 went. I think isn't he with the Colts?
Uh,
I think he's with the Colts.
it says Saints. Somebody said Saints.
Kellen Moore's down there in New Orleans. He was our OC last year for the Super Bowl. And honestly, I'm a firm believer in, look, everybody deserves their chance at being a head coach, but very rarely do you get a person that is as smart football wise as Sean McVay.
Right.
You know, like take Mike McDaniel for example,
Hmm.
a brilliant offensive coordinator, failed miserably as a head coach. Some people, Robert Saleh, failed miserably as a head coach. One of the best defensive coordinators. Some people I think need to just stay in their lane where they're great coaching at. And that's where you're going to excel. I
That's
would love to get
difficult.
Mike McDaniel as my OC.
That's
As the
difficult.
OC, 100%. But like you just said, it's difficult because every coach is in this to reach that
Right.
plateau of I want to be a head
This is
coach.
yes.
You
I
know?
want to run the ship.
Yeah, that's
I
why
want to
that's
see what
why
it
I'm
looks
in
like.
here.
It's me. Um, and let me just start to read some of the comments. Moore took that offense and knew what to call and when to call
Hmm.
it. KP is willy nilly. Um,
No doubt. No doubt. Kellen Moore was when he left, man, I was like, oh man, he of all places for him to go though, like why did he choose New Orleans? Like
I don't
that's
think
what gets
so.
me.
So it's but a lot of times it's timing because if you notice, I think Dan Quinn was one of those coaches that turned down a few jobs until he got the one that he wanted,
He
and he
wanted,
knew
yep,
that okay, I can see myself having success here. There's other coaches who, when that opportunity knocks, they don't know if this is the perfect time for them to move on because that next season they could have a down year and get overlooked and miss their window of opportunity. So
yep,
that's the give and take when it comes to stuff like that, man. When it's time to move on, and
yep.
and when I say move on, I mean move up. You
Yeah. Oh
have to
yeah,
take
move
it.
up.
You
Yep.
have to take it
Yeah, no
because
doubt. No, no,
just
no matter.
like a college player who may come back. I'm gonna give Penn State for example. Drew Aller should have left the year before when his
No
stock
doubt.
was up.
Yep.
He came back for the college money and fell off. Had a terrible season, and
Yep.
now I don't even. He was looked at as a first round quarterback. Is he
Yes, he
now?
was.
Absolutely not.
No.
You know what I mean?
I don't
So
even know if he's
sometimes
a
you got to
I
strike
don't I
while the
don't even
iron's
know if
hot.
he's a third round quarterback, honestly.
Oh, that's sad.
It's I mean, like you said, to
He's a
go
to
along
me,
with
he's a
coaches, it's
great
the same thing with
value Josh
college.
Allen. He's like the great value Josh Allen, like the
Yeah.
Kroger brand Josh Allen. The difference with the two is their floors. Josh Allen's floor is the third story building. Drew Aller's floor is outside in the basement.
Yes.
In the basement,
you
in the dirt, you're gonna have to build this because
you ain't even in the house. You got that
you're not in
basement
the
that's
crib yet.
outside you gotta walk to.
So I think that's the problem. But like I said, I just say that to say sometimes you really have to strike while the iron's hot. And like you said, going to the Saints, that might look crazy at the time, but this is when my window of opportunity opened and I took it. If
Yeah.
you don't, it could look like Drew Aller. And now you in the third round, competing with
Yeah.
backups. So it's one of those things. I kind of want to I want to get back to this game.
Hmm.
Um do you like when Eagle fans boo? Because to me, as a fan of a team, lifelong, really, I cannot stand your own fans in booing the team. Like that's so disrespectful.
Yeah, you go from cheers and cheers in the first half to booing in the second half. Now, my thing is, I have a feeling they're not booing the team as far as they are the offensive coordinator at this point.
But I don't think they're
Um,
booing the offensive coordinator.
man,
It'd
listen,
be a bad series in an
they will
inopportune
boo.
time in the game, and you boo. You can't decipher a boo is like a text. I can't hear how this is supposed to come across. I can only read it and interpret it.
Yeah,
But when you
and
boo,
that's why I'm saying like when you have the offensive coordinator having that steady pattern of success in the first half, no success in the second half, like you just said, how do you decipher that boo?
that's
Because offensively, essentially, this is the same. When you're talking about the skill position, essentially, it's the same team as last year. It's the same team as last year.
Somebody said the boo
So
it was well deserved. Like the boos are well deserved. So here's the problem that I have with booing. Because that same individual that can sit in that crowd and boo a team that they paid to watch is that same individual, if the results were different, go online and get to typing.
right, immediately there's a minute left in that game, and that person will be on that
You know
online
what I'm saying?
typing. Yep, no
So
doubt.
it's like all that wishy washy shit. Don't go then. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Nah, yeah,
They
listen, man,
booed
I
the
feel
coaching.
you.
So
I was down there.
I guess what they're saying is, y'all boo the coaching, not the guys. So
Listen,
okay,
I can tell you this. I was down there. I was at the NFC Championship game last year.
that's
I
dope.
was in I was on the fifth row in the end zone where Kenyon Mitchell caught that interception last year.
Ooh,
I was 5 rows up from there.
that's fire.
And you might not have heard it, but even in that game when we were up, they were still booing. They're still booing. Like even when we were up, fam, we were winning. And we would have a possession where we would not do well, and you would hear boos.
That's
Like when
mind.
they say Eagles fans are the most brutal, I've witnessed it myself 3 times now. And whether they're up 30 or down 30, the boos are going to come out regardless. I
That's
mean, that's just the passion of Philly fans. But at the same time, it's like you're not even getting behind your team at this point. Like you're showing your team how fake you are.
that's my
Like,
point.
like you're
It
showing
ain't
your
like a
team, like,
team
all
could go,
right,
yo, could you?
I'm a ride with you when we doing good, but nah, man, screw you. Not a, like it's that fakeness. You got
And
to
right,
ride with them.
and when it's being said that they're bullying the coaches, they may feel that way, but the players can't decipher that. They're not
Nope.
like, oh, they ain't booing us, they booing the coaches. We good.
Yep.
You know what I
They have
mean?
no idea.
They have no idea. So it's like they first of all, they putting their body on the line. I know they get paid, but they're putting their body on the line, game in and game out to entertain. That's what it all boils down to. So when you get out there and you get to booing these people, when it's time to renew their contract, they're like, I don't want to go back there.
Nah,
I
no
want a
doubt.
loyal fan base. Yo, do the Chiefs boo their team? No,
No.
you won't
They
see
waited
that.
so long to have a dynasty like they had.
And they're
And
terrible this year, and they still ain't booing
yeah, and they still out there with their fan base out there doing it up. Like even though
so that's
they're not excelling at all.
at
And
all. So that's
Eagles
kind of one of the
fans, like
knocks.
they show up and sell out that
Yeah,
stadium. Don't get me wrong. Every game, like that motherfucker is gone.
yeah.
But the booing is just like that part gets me too, man. I'm right there with you on that one. Like I don't understand it.
So
Like
that's
you
why
got
I
to be
guess
behind your team. That's like
right. What
me.
at all
That's like
times.
me. Like booing my players because they're not shooting the ball well. Call a timeout and boo y'all.
Just
Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, I would never do that to my boys. I'm trying to instill confidence in
right,
my players at all times.
right.
Even if they're out there going 0 for 5. If they went
Yeah,
0 for 5, I'm going to bring that player off and I'm going to try to instill the most confidence I can. The fan base got to do
absolutely.
the same thing.
I agree.
Like I'm right there with you on that.
I agree. I got a question. Do you think AJ Brown will be an Eagle next year?
I do. Um, I think he's going to for the simple fact that when Howie Roseman says something, he it happens. And Howie Roseman said AJ Brown will be an Eagle the rest of his life. I think the only way he's not an
I thought
Eagle,
Cooper Cup would be an Eagle. Never mind. Go ahead. I
a
mean, be a
Ram.
Ram, but you see
Yeah,
how that turned out.
that's exactly where I'm getting. I think the only way he's not an Eagle is if somebody comes over the top with a crazy trade. And don't get me wrong, Howie Roseman gets it going. Like some of the stuff
No,
that he
Howie's
does,
great.
I just don't even understand
Howie's
how
great.
teams let that happen.
Howie's great.
Yeah.
He's
So
probably the
I
most
mean,
impressive thing that, from an outside looking in, about that franchise. But it's just it's the culture, man. From the
it
fans
is.
booing to the optics of AJ Brown's blowing up on the sideline to the kind of the way.
And yo, and listen, all off season, all you're gonna hear about is did AJ Brown drop those passes on purpose? You're
Mm.
not gonna hear about Smitty dropping that pass because there is no,
Yo, hold on, hold on,
you
hold on.
know.
This is funny. He said y'all can have DK Metcalf next year. He will get rid of all the booze from one fan at a time.
Yeah.
Yo, that's the comment of the stream.
Oh my goodness, that's
That is the
literally,
comment of the
literally
stream,
one fan at
home.
a time. We'll go through the whole stadium.
Yo, he's running through the whole stadium, home. That was funny. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that
Nah,
was
yeah, I
hilarious.
do. But like I said, I really, all off season, all you're gonna hear about is, AJ Brown, like where those passes questionably dropped. And you're gonna hear that because of the off the field stuff that you said. Now you're not gonna hear about Smitty dropping that third down pass that would have got us to the 4 yard line.
Right.
You're not gonna hear that because Smitty is so, you know, for the team. There's no off the field issues. There's no drama. So that's not going to be questioned. It's going to be AJ Brown question.
It's a character thing.
So going back to it, how much will a player of that caliber take? He already got his money. I mean, he got his dough. Like he's straight. So will he say, "I'm not playing unless you trade me"?
Mm.
Well, and mean it. Like Micah did. I'm not playing unless I get traded.
Yeah.
And he literally forced Jerry's hand.
Yeah.
Could AJ Brown do that to Howie?
And that's Jerry
Absolutely.
Jones, man. Jerry
Yeah.
Jones is a stubborn son.
Is he ever?
So
he
the
might
fact
he
that he
might be
forced
one
his
that's more
hand,
stubborn. He might be more stubborn than Howie. Honestly.
yeah. And his hand got forced. So
it could happen. There's always a option, but AJ has said he wants to retire an Eagle, and Howie said he wants to retire him as an Eagle. Now, whether those feelings change, we shall see.
all right. Well, this was a beautiful stream. I appreciate you for coming on.
No doubt, man.
We're gonna
Anytime, man. We
we're
can do
gonna
this
continue
whenever. You
having
just
you
let me
on the
know.
show. Sucks that the season's over, but we got a whole off season, and you can always join to talk about the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I was waiting for that. Look, man, I'm
Yo, he was
always
making posts on Instagram. Where them Rams fans at? There's only one Rams fan, Just say my name. You only know one. Rams fans. Blah 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 blah.
Where
blah.
they at? Where they at?
Say me.
Yeah, nah, you got
Say the bull.
so here you go. I got a question for you.
All right.
Is this Stafford's last year?
That's a good question. I think if we win the Super Bowl,
he's going out on top.
Just go out on top.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
But I think if we don't, I'll give him one more year.
No doubt. I mean, he's the number one quarterback right now.
Yes, and the reason why I say that is because
he still got it.
And we got cap room. We still got rookie contracts like Puka, Jared Verse, Kobe Turner. So we still got room to make moves.
Fisk or whatever his name is. Braden Fisk too.
Yeah, because they came in at the same
you got
time.
a ton of what
so we got a lot of young
rookies,
players,
man.
ton of money that we're able to spend. Finally got Aaron Donald and them off the books. So I really think if we don't win, he'll come back next season. But if we do win, thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah, he got
off
you too.
into the sunlight, and
that would be two.
You got two of them. Aaron Rodgers only got one.
Yeah.
So
Aaron, I still say with him, the reason why he only has one is because he was too greedy of a quarterback.
I agree.
He wanted all max money. Yep. Look, and the reason Tom Brady got 7 is because all of his contracts, he was either in the middle or the lower part of salary every year.
Absolutely.
Hands down, Aaron Rodgers would have more than one, and I don't think Tom would have 7 if Aaron Rodgers wasn't that greedy for money.
I agree. And now look, the end of his career, he looked crazy with a Steelers helmet on.
Yeah, out there all shroomed up.
It looked like Spog ain't fit his helmet on right, bro. It looked too big for his head. He looked crazy. He looked crazy.
Oh
But like
man.
I said, thank you for joining the Closer podcast, sir.
Hey
And
man, anytime, man. You hit me up. I'm on there.
already know. Let's
Appreciate
get
it,
it. The
fam.
Closer
Be safe. Be
podcast.
safe down there, boy.
Yes, sir.
Love you, my man.
Love you too, my brother. Closer podcast, Mr. ESPN.